What up? My first real day where I felt like I was doing something and it paid off, man. Like last week, I was asked to create a PowerShell that pulled from a server. I know some of you guys may not even know what I'm talking about. PowerShell is a built-in language with Microsoft that basically lets you run the whole system and manipulate files and things of that nature with a command prompt. It's got like C# and a bunch of other aspects of coding involved. So it's a lot of, I'm gonna go ahead and go then if he's gonna turn his wheel. So I was asked to write a PowerShell that connected to an FTP site, which is an file transfer protocol site, which is an off-site location or an off-site server. It's not hosted anywhere near us. We don't have direct access to it. We have to get to it with credentials and things of that nature. So I had to write a script that was basically gonna just copy files over from that server to a local server for us, and basically it's backing up all the developers' code on one of the servers, the mini servers that we have. And it was more of like a test run, kind of see how I could do with it and stuff. And I wrote it up and did a couple of changes to it today, and then I got with the lead developer and we went over it this afternoon. And other than a couple of little slight mishaps, like forgetting to import one module, which is a requirement for basically an SSH connection, which is something required for TP, what the fuck, file transfer protocol, the FTPs. We stuck that line in there, and the rest of the code pretty much worked. I did kind of mess up a little bit. I was looking for an extension that I thought all the code was run in PS1, which is PowerShell, and no, that's not the case. A lot of the developers' code is written, and it's got a bunch of different extensions, and so that function didn't work, so we just kind of grabbed them all. And they moved all the files over, and then we realized that we should probably start organizing it better. Instead of just throwing it into that one folder, we created another folder based on the server it's on, and we ran it, and it worked, which was awesome. It was great. It was a great fucking feeling. Like it was so awesome to know I wrote that and it works, and that's fucking sweet. I can't believe it. Yeah, great. What I wanted to do, I'm able to do. I wanted to code, even though I don't have a direct coding position. There is some light coding involved for automation. Automation is basically PowerShell, and then we throw it into a specific software that runs these types of jobs for us, which I'm going to get formal training on that next week. It's going to be a week long, and I'm going to be getting paid for that. They're training me to navigate that system, and I feel like I'm really getting the hang of this. It's getting easier, and I think that's amazing. I love it. I love the fact that I'm getting it. It's kind of coming to me now. I'm not as nervous. I had the imposter syndrome, right? There's still a little bit of that there. I think it's always going to be there. As one of you guys said in the comments, it never fails. And I had a guy come to me. He's been working there 2 years, and he says he still feels it, the imposter syndrome. But I feel more of a team member now. Like somebody broke something. One of the developers broke something today. We had to put in a ticket with one of our third-party vendors and get that squared away and get it cleared before end of day. He was trying to add a feature to the website and it broke everything. So he reverted it back, and everything was running as normal. But if that error code sits in the queue for too long, it could cause errors for our end of day code that runs. Because we got code and jobs running all day long. I mean, it's a bank. People want access to their funds and things like that at all hours and all times, and I can't tell who's going or what. Okay. So to know that me and two other people right now, we're going to be looking for one more soon. Once we're kind of up to speed and we know what's going on and we don't have to ask as many questions, I think they're going to bring a third person in, and then we're all going to be able to train that one person. That way there's an even on-call schedule and things like that. I'm pushing for it. They just had one of the guys that got into the position that's the same time as me and one other person. They have a lot more experience in this bank than basically. A lot of people, like one guy has been there 5 years. He worked on the front end as a teller, and then the other lady that I'm working with, that she's also a CSA. She was in the help desk for, I think she's been at the company for 20 years now. So she's learning, and she's still also doing a lot of her job, because you can't just let go of 20 years and push all that onto somebody. They're very fair where I work. They're very about you, and they treat you like adults. And like I was on Reddit today looking things up and researching, and that's fine. The CIO walks by and he's like, "Hey man, what you looking at? Whatever. Yeah, hey, yeah, wow, awesome, great, yeah. Let me know what you find. Whatever. It's like just normal day stuff." And you get tired or you get frustrated, they encourage you to just go walk around, like go outside, go walk around the track. There's a track outside in the park. Go take a walk, take a breather, take a break, get away from your desk for a little bit. Then, I get out and I walk around a lot. I vape, obviously, so I go outside like maybe every 2 hours or so, and I'll take a couple walks around the track to kind of get a little bit of exercise in, and because I'm sitting at my desk all day. And first part of my journey here was a lot of meetings and things like that. Now it's more like phone calls with vendors and helping some of the IT guys. It's so unusual for me to be on the higher tier. I'm usually, most of my jobs, the most tenure I had at most of my jobs were frontline support, tier 2 tech support type of deal, with some some servers things and access to AD and Office 365 and shit like that. It's not something I'm used to, actually focusing on what my job entails, and that's like working on the core systems and shit. I'm not gonna run that light. I really don't want a ticket, and I don't need one, and I'm gonna be responsible. The light turned yellow, and it would have turned red before I could actually get to the line to cut it, and I wasn't gonna cut. I know a lot of people do that out here because they're fucking impatient. This is a goddamn high school town, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not high school anymore. And I don't want a ticket because these guys will pull you over for anything. But yeah, so it's great. This job is awesome. I love it very much. Something happened with my clock today that I realized that there's some entries in the clock that make it seem like I didn't take a lunch, even though my boss can see. And I sent her the screenshot. I'm like, hey, look, I can't edit these times. I don't know what to do. She's like, just leave it. So I have like 43 hours for the first week, which is 3 hours of overtime. And those hours of overtime don't carry over into the next week and count as time for that week. No, all of your time is entered for that week, and then the next week starts over at 0. So anything over 40 during the week is overtime. Which Wednesday, I'm actually coming home and we're going to do an upgrade to one of our systems, so I get to leave early, which is great. Now, one thing I can't wait to do, I say this, but I don't know, is work from home. Like the guy that's been shadowing to do the on-call stuff, which I think, what's funny is he's working from home, and the lady that's with me is actually on call. So I'm not sure why she's at work. Usually if you're on call, you get to work from home because you're on call. You got to be up late. She's staying the whole day and then she's on call. So I'm gonna have to figure out how that works. But some of these guys are like, yeah, man, I'm just gonna work from home tomorrow, and they're like, cool, whatever, because they know they're gonna get their work done. They trust everybody here. They treat you like adults. It's amazing. Like, I'm not used to not being compartmentalized. Everything's so openly shared amongst everybody. We're an actual team. It's not like some false sense of security that you're like, oh, I'm part of this team, but in reality, you don't know what the hell's going on. You don't know who's doing what. And yeah, I don't know. It's just really, really awesome to know that you got a team to support you, and if you need help, you ask and they'll help you. It's great. So, finally home. So remember, just ladies, let me hit the fucking ready to take care. I'll see you on another time.